I'm an English major. That's not a joke. Don't. It's not funny. I live in Pritchard. No cheers. That's weird. That's odd. Yeah, I live in Pritchard. And if you don't know what Pritchard is, it's like a cesspool of STDs and cigarettes, right? It's great. Great dorm to live in. And, you know, has a lot of problems, right? And in my dorm, I moved in, everything was fine, and then about a week in, my roommates and I noticed that there was like a bubble of paint forming on our ceiling. And we were like, that's probably not good. But, you know, we kind of just ignored it, because we're like, it'll fix itself, you know, classic. And then like a week goes by, it gets a lot bigger. So I said, we should probably do something, because it was right above my pillow, like right, and it was definitely a leak. Okay. So we sent in a request. We say, hey, can you fix that? And they got back to us really fast, about 3 weeks later. And they said, we can't fix that. So, you know, I was expecting an email like, oh, we'll be by there like Friday at noon. That did not happen. What happened was, it was a beautiful Tuesday. I went to the shower, took a shower, with the shower curtains that cover about like 1/9 of my body, right? Take a great shower. I come back to my dorm, I'm getting ready, still have my towel on, and I hear a banging at my door, like a I'm like, okay, well, I don't know who that is. But I walk up to the people and I look, and I see 3 old men standing right outside my door, which is never a good thing, you know? That's never like the beginning of a good story, right? So I opened the door, and I was like, oh, no. You know what, I ignored them, right, the first time, and I walked away, and then they knocked about 4,000 more times. And I said, okay, I'll go and see what's going on. So I cracked it open, and I said, hey, I'm in my towel right now, like, if you wouldn't mind coming back at a later, and he said, I don't mind, and pushed right through the door. And I was kind of relieved, you know, because sometimes I'm walking around and I'm worried, right? I'm worried for how old men are feeling. And I'm kind of upset that I didn't even think about how uncomfortable maybe they could have been in that situation. But I was not comfortable. I'll let you guys in on that secret. I was not comfortable in that situation. So I'm like standing there in my towel, kind of just like looking around, and the guy walks up and he goes, yup, that's definitely a leak. And I said, I think I could have told you that one. Don't think it took 3 minds to put that puzzle together, but okay. So he looks up and goes, yep, that's a leak. We'll come in here another time, and I'll get my paint guy to fix your ceiling right up, like, once we come back. And I said, that's perfect, thank you so much. Could you tell me when you're coming back? And he said, oh, that's okay, we don't need to do that. We'll just show up. And I said, perfect, amazing, fantastic. So it's okay, though. The next time they came, I wasn't even in the room. But it was kind of nice, because he kept referencing this man that was his paint guy. He was like, I'll get the paint guy to come in here. And I kind of like that Virginia Tech just has a paint guy. I don't know what he does, you know, other than paint things, I would assume. But he was really nice. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I'm Sage. Thank you.
Hello, and welcome once again to the Snide Show. I'm your host, Cornelius Edward Snyder, otherwise known as CoryTheCurator. We're here to bring you some fresh and funny takes on news and pop culture and shit. Today we got a special guest joining us from the comedy conglomerate, a rising star in the local comedy scene. We got Sage DeLong with her quick wit and hilarious observations. Please welcome Sage DeLong to the Snide Stream. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Wait, let me just make sure. Say that again, Sage.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.
Is it
Just,
working?
I was tested the levels here. There we
Perfect.
go. All right. Everything's good. Yeah, thank you once again. And I'm excited that we'll be celebrating the high holiday together later.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may not be able to light up with us, but at least we can all laugh together. We're going to be blazing a trail here, folks. Hopefully, we'll be the first of many Snide Show live events this year, aiming for once a month. Always we'll try to have talented comedians opening it up. Always the segments and sketches we've been producing, but we're tightening it up, leveling it up, and also bringing plenty of other surprises and experiments to the mix. So it's going to be Sage DeLong opening up the stand-up warm-up. After that, Joe Bridges and Kenny Rooster. Then a little intermission, a little munchie, a little raffle before getting to the meat and potatoes of the evening. And then we all cool down with a live commentary of the classic Reefer Madness. Wow, what a show we're going to bring, man. Yeah, and again, thanks for being a part of it, Sage.
Of course, I'm super excited. Yeah.
Awesome.
I will not be participating as an under 21-year-old, but
that's right, folks. That's
I'm
right.
excited.
Yeah. Bring your IDs. Make sure you're at least 21 if you want to imbibe, as it were. So, speaking of imbibing, we're here with a hot scoop today, the new interview segment here on the Snide Show, where we're serving up piping hot interviews with the coolest cats around. So Sage, I got some questions here for you. Just to start out, like, how did you get into comedy?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I've loved comedy for so long. I mean, like, since I was younger, like The Simpsons, for example, I've been watching that since I was 1.5. My parents, like, put it on. It was just kind of a cartoon in the background. And then eventually they're like, oh, shit, maybe we shouldn't be letting our kids watch this. But they kept letting me. And then throughout high school, I kind of wanted to try some stand-up out. But then my junior year, COVID hit, so I didn't end up going out and trying it. And then eventually I got to college. I found out that we had a club on campus at Virginia Tech where I could join in. Sorry. In the background, I don't know if you can hear all that noise. My roommate just got a puppy.
Oh, is that a puppy? Okay.
Yes, he just got a black lab puppy. So it's, I think maybe peed. And that's what all the screaming.
Oh, baby. Oh, goodness.
Yeah,
goodness.
I'm so sorry. I would tell them the English major helps with that.
Wow. And I've talked to so many different kinds of comedians recently that just have that different approach. And, that brings me to my next question. Can you walk us through your creative process when writing jokes or comedic material in general?
For sure. I mean, normally what happens is I'm like walking around or I'm just kind of sitting and I think of something or like something reminds me of a story or I just like see something and I'm like, oh, that's kind of funny. I'll write it down in my notes, come back to it later, be a little bit confused what previous Sage was thinking when she wrote down.
I feel that. That actually resonates with me a lot. I have that same struggle. Like, what was funny about Listerine?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I'll get that later. And then I definitely don't get it later. But sometimes I do. And I kind of take it and then I'll write jokes based off of that. Like I'll just kind of think of things that I think are funny. And sometimes it's easier to like, if I have like a topic, can make a lot of jokes out of it. Like I've done, I can build. So like I have a set on like Tinder, which is easy because there's a lot of different things I could talk about, or one on TikTok, a lot of different things I could talk about.
Right.
But then sometimes I just have like one joke, and that's a little bit harder because you have to like work it into a set with a bunch of other jokes, kind of making them all fit together. So. Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So who are some of your biggest comedic influences or inspirations?
Yeah, well, I would say I really like Dave Chappelle. I think he's great. Big Dave Chappelle fan. Just the way that he performs is great. I really like Nikki Glaser. She was one of the first female comedians I saw when I was growing up, which definitely I'm going to look up to. I like Natasha Leggero a lot.
Oh, I love Natasha Leggero.
Yeah, I met her at the DC Improv over winter break, actually.
That's so cool. Oh my gosh, man.
Sick.
What was her presence like in person? Was it as kind of like, did she have that sort of, was she in character? Was she like kind of have that like uppity kind of?
Yes, for sure. She was definitely, it was kind of funny. She had like a Q&A after. So I went and saw her show and then she had like a Q&A after and she was just destroying the audience. So that was great. And I came in, like, I got to meet her and she asked me, she was like, "Why are you here? Like, you're too young to know any of this." And I was like, "Okay." She just kind of was like, "What are you doing here?" But I think she's hilarious. And she's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
4'11", which I was not real. I didn't realize that, and so she was way shorter than me. It looked a little bit funny,
Man.
but yeah.
Yeah, man. She must have been. Have you watched Another Period? The
Yeah, yeah.
She must have been standing on apple boxes for that, like, because the other actress is so tall, so it's like, and they kind of make it seem like they're almost the same height. And that's
Yeah.
man,
No,
that's
she's
really
hilarious.
cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I will say on stage, I've been told I'm kind of mean in terms of some of the jokes that I make, or I go for roast sometimes.
Oh, I
and
love that.
You gotta calm down with that. So
No,
he's
never.
definitely an inspiration.
Never calm down with that, man. Like, that's, I totally welcome that energy. Yeah, just naturally, and now I've had to lean into it.
Yeah.
So have you had like any other particularly memorable moments in your career so far?
Honestly, like, so the club that I do it through, the Comedy Conglomerate, right,
Mm-hmm.
which we talked about. At first when I joined, I think like a really memorable moment was like going up on stage for the first time. Obviously, kind of everybody thinks about their like first time doing it. I blacked out completely. Don't really remember what was
Whoa.
going on. So, guess you could say it was not a memorable moment, but it was definitely something. But I just remember after like being told like you didn't. I mean, not bombing was great, and I think that was like the first time I was like, okay, like that wasn't horrible. Like I could do this because I'm a very very nervous person. Um, very stressed out all the time, and going up on stage for people, especially because where we do it, the milk parlor, is very like I don't know, it's around a lot of students, so it was people that I was like friends with that were there, and
Right.
doing that for the first time was kind of hard. And then, but I will say like I did a roast at Bull and Bones for Jordan B's birthday. Don't know if you know
Mm-hmm.
this, but that was definitely pretty memorable. I feel like I like that was the first time I was like, okay, like I kind of crushed that. I'm doing well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That I was sorry to miss that. I was sorry to miss that because Zach and JB, they're good buddies of mine. Catherine's a friend of mine, and um, Ryan, my brother, sometimes I'll send him out. He's more social than I am. I'm kind of asocial. I'm a bit of a hermit, which makes producing hard. But I'm trying to get over it and get out there and meet people and stuff. But he's been helping me with like networking, as far as like he's got the confidence to just walk up to people and talk to them. So and he recommended you for this. He saw you there and was like, oh man, like we got to have her at the 420 show. So
Well, I'm happy to be here. I'm excited.
yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah, we talked a little bit about the Comedy Conglomerate. So can you speak a little more on like how it's impacted your comedy career?
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, when I first got to college, I knew I wanted to do stand up. Like it wasn't like, oh, I met the club and then that was my goal, but like I kind of came into college being like, okay, this is the time I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And I met some of the guys, and honestly, I will say something that like I didn't fully gauge until I got to the club was like it was all guys when I first joined, like a fully male dominated. I mean, there was like 20 guys, and then I walked in,
Whoa,
only girl.
dude.
And I think like that was a little bit of a like a oh kind of moment for me. So that definitely like I think that gave me a little bit of confidence, just because I was like, you know what, like it's horrible to think, but in terms of competition, female wise, I had like no one.
No,
So it was
that's not horrible at all. I was actually going to say that because I was talking to Joe about that, and he was talking about being the only Jewish member of his community that was into stand up, and he's like he was referring to it as a target, and I was like, nah, you're a commodity. You got like you said, a competitive advantage, a unique perspective. And so that unique perspective benefited you from the beginning. You turned that into a strength.
I would say in some ways it hindered a little bit at first because I was very intimidated, I think, just because I mean, I feel like it's kind of there's like a little bit of a stigma. I would say I've been told before, like, oh, women can't be funny, girls can't be funny. So at first, for sure, I was a little bit like going into it, oh, this is a little bit hard to, like, I felt like I had to prove myself a little bit more, I would say. But then after a while, I think I got, like, definitely gained respect. And all the guys that do stand up, like, in the comedy conglomerate are great. Like, they are very welcoming, push, like, they want more women to join. But yeah, at first, for sure, I was intimidated, but I think it did end up, like, helping me a little bit, just in terms of, like, confidence and being able to, like, do it. Yeah.
Very cool, very cool. I love that, and I admire that in other people. I've had struggles with, like, whether or not to pursue certain things, like a confidence issue. But I too have, like, also tried to, like, turn weaknesses into strengths in a way. It's adaptability. It's adaptability, and that's just really, I find it fascinating because so many people have so many artistic pursuits, and early on I was like, I want to be a filmmaker, and, like, early on people have certain, like, I want to be a painter, illustrator, I want to be an animator. Not a lot of people from, like, a young age are like, I want to be a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, no, it's definitely weird. Like, in my 5th grade class, like, when we were leaving elementary school, it was like, what's your future career? And I wrote comedian. Like, it's been from a young age, like, that's what my brain kind of went towards. And I will say, honestly, it's kind of funny. Like, I think I started off being like, stand-up comedy is what I want to do. And as I've gone to college, kind of, like, heard about different careers and stuff like that, my brain is even, like, kind of expanded instead of narrowing down in terms of things you can do in the comedy field.
Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what I talk to a lot of people about, just the way the entertainment industry is going. We're living in the post-saturation age. There was that sort of saturation level and sort of a bubble that bursted. But then since then, things have normalized. People are more after niche stuff, more after multimedia experiences, more, it's all changing so much. And, and that's one thing I'd like to see more around here, just the talented folks like yourself and finding ways to collaborate and create these experiences, a mix of, again, streaming, podcasting, comedy, like a screen with, like, slideshows and stuff, just a whole thing. And man, add VR to that, man. Like, add, I don't know.
For sure.
Well, I don't know. The potential's limitless.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I think around here, especially, like I said, I'm a sophomore. Even from last year, being in this area, like, there have been like, the amount of opportunities has grown an insane amount. Like, I mean, I've been doing shows in places that I never thought were, like, I mean, I didn't anticipate this being as much of a thing as it has been for me. And I think that's, like, only possible because of all the people that really want the comedy scene to grow. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, Zach has put a lot of effort into it. Catherine, I'm sure you know both of them.
Yes,
but yeah,
yes.
A lot of effort in around here.
I admire them so much. I admire them so much for what they're doing out here. They're really boots on the ground and stuff. And it's really cool to see. And it's just going to keep growing. I mean, this area by 2030 is going to look like Roanoke. Roanoke's shrinking, and, like, the markets around here are growing. So if there are folks like us that are on like the younger end of the spectrum, with the community here, just bolstering this kind of media enterprise of sorts, it's we're going to be here to meet the needs of the community by the time it's already formed, in a way. And then it's from there, I mean, again, the possibilities are endless. And so on that note, I got a little topical punch here for y'all. If you're ready to move on.
I'm ready.
Cool. Well, first of all, not to get too somber, I know we just kind of, like, had a build up of sorts, but I had to mention this. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick. Are you familiar? Oh, I think we got a little freeze here. Uh-oh.
Lance Reddick.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was weird. That was weird. Like the video and the audio just froze for a second. But yeah.
Yeah.
It, yeah. I wasn't super familiar with his work. He was known for his roles in The Wire, John Wick, Fringe. He passed away at the age of 60 from natural causes. Reddick had a distinguished career spanning nearly 30 years, earning many accolades for his work in television, film, and voice acting. It's a shame to lose such a Hollywood legend. He brought gravitas, intensity, and a killer voice to every role he played. Lance had these skills, but also had a sense of humor, as with his irreverent work on Adult Swim. I mean, just such range, which is the stuff he would do. He'd play a tough police chief, a suave hotel concierge, a Greek god, all with equal ease. And who could forget his turn as the ominous, this is what I know him from, Matthew Abaddon in Lost. He was a very mysterious figure, forced to be reckoned with. Lucky to have had him on this earth. Rest in peace, Lance Reddick. You may be gone, but you will live on forever in your performances.
Yeah. No, I loved him. I mean, the thing I know him from is I saw him in that Eric Andre show. A couple of clips from that, and he was like, he was great. Definitely played the shock part very well.
Yeah, and like again, just I saw some behind the scenes stuff on that, and he was having a blast. He thought it was hilarious. Again, just had a sense of humor. He could do like such serious stuff and then such just hilarious stuff, and I admire someone like that. But yeah, moving on. So usually on Topical Punch, we start local and work our way global before blasting off into space with some science and whatnot. Locally, driver sought after a Radford chase. This is from WDBJ7 and Pat Thomas. Police in Radford, Virginia are searching for a driver who ran from police after a traffic stop early on March 17th. Officers were called to the area about possible gunshots and saw a driver speeding away from the scene. The driver refused to stop, leading to a police chase. After eventually stopping, the driver fled on foot and has yet to be identified. There have been no reports of injuries, and police say there's no threat. The investigation is ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to call the criminal investigation section of the Radford City Police Department. So this guy, I think it's just another fucking Grand Theft Auto fan gone crazy.
For sure. Yeah, the Radford kids are playing too much GTA, so had to try it for themselves, I'm sure. Yeah. I mean, it's I mean, who says no one's getting outside anymore? Yeah, they got bored of giving each other various STDs and decided that a car chase would be their next
Ratchet
time.
Ratty, man.
I know. I mean, Virginia Tech. I have to hate on them. It's in our blood.
Yeah, but I mean, he's just waiting out somewhere, waiting for his wanted level to go away. Waiting for those stars to, they're just that one star. It just won't go away. It's crazy. But if only the cops had some green shells or banana peels. They are stocked up. Stocked up, but it's just not enough, man. It's just not enough. So moving on to regional news. This one here, CBS 19. Garrett Whitten with the hemp bill could bring unintended results for industry in Virginia. For folks that can't see me, the air quotes around unintended. A bill in Virginia has proposed a THC milligram limit that could have unintended consequences on the state's hemp industry, potentially wiping out the Virginia CBD industry. Joseph Kuhn, CEO of Albemarle Cannabis Company, expressed concerns that the limits are too low and will remove all products from shelves. A Virginia law firm representing the Virginia Cannabis Association argued that the bill could drive people to the black market, as it has done in the THC market. Gentry Lock attorney Greg Habib stated that they support regulation, testing, licensure, and taxation, but with reasonable regulations to ensure the hemp industry can continue to exist in Virginia. The Virginia Cannabis Association has been working with the governor's office on this issue, but it remains unclear whether the bill will be signed into law. So they've passed a hemp bill that could potentially eliminate the state's CBD industry, but don't worry, it was completely unintended. I mean, I'm sure the lobbyists who pushed for it didn't mean for that to happen. They just wanted to make it a little harder for people to get their hands on some natural medicine. That's it.
Yeah, the white granola moms are going crazy right now, I'm sure. Can't get their CBD fix. Yeah.
Dude,
I'm telling you.
Dude, man, but man, like, more power to them. I mean, it's like these lawmakers think that if they regulate hemp too much, people will just stop using it altogether because, you know, that worked well for alcohol and opiates, you know.
Yeah, that always is crazy to me. But I do think the argument, well, if you regulate it too much, they're going to go to the black market. I mean, have you seen the whole bit where it's like drug dealers now have it hard because before they were allowed to come in, smoke the weed with you. Now they have all these. Now the regulations have like kind of gone down a little bit. They've lost their market, and now they just have to be cool and not. I think it's John Mulaney's bit where he's talking about like, oh no, we're not gonna let you hit on our girlfriends. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's ringing a bell. I haven't watched any Mulaney in a while. This is his last Netflix one. I don't know if that was that one, but yeah. I mean, it's a good point. I mean, it's one of those, you know. I mean, and it's just. I don't know. I mean, like, people have been hearing me talk about this for, like, all year, it feels like. But it's like the old saying, you know, you give a man a hemp plant and he'll smoke for a day. You regulate the hemp industry so much that it drives people to the black market, he'll smoke for a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you're up on your hemp news. I'm excited for the 420 show. Can't say I have a whole lot of knowledge in that field, but... That's
going to be kind of funny, though. That's going to be kind
it
of
will
like,
be.
You know what I'm saying?
I dress like I smoke a lot of weed, but I don't.
Oh, man. Yeah, you're going to find out. I brought you on just for that Sage joke. Just for that Sage.
Yeah, burning sage.
But yeah, we've been talking about it a lot. We're going to talk about it a lot at the show. It's going to be again, you know, it's going to be a show, man. So, speaking of crime, though, to the national level, this fentanyl stuff, right? Am I right? A Virginia man sentenced for selling fentanyl pills that cause 2 teen overdoses. This is from Will Gonzalez on WRIC ABC News. Jacob Nathaniel Weaver, 25-year-old man from... I don't think they got a good picture on here. From Fergus Falls, Minnesota, has been arrested and faces multiple drug-related charges for possessing fentanyl in various forms. Weaver was found in a suspicious vehicle parked at a gas station in Alexandria, Minnesota, with 2 other individuals. When deputies pulled over the vehicle, Weaver gave a fake name. However, authorities later found 4.6 grams of fentanyl powder, a plastic pipe used for smoking M30 fentanyl pills. I've never even heard of them. A bag containing 11.5 grams of M30 fentanyl pills, numerous pieces of foil with burnt residue, a glass jar containing 128 grams of cannabis wax, and Wobig, who was also in the vehicle, was found with fentanyl pills. Weaver faces up to 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. I mean, why did he give a fake name?
Yeah.
Dude, they're gonna
find your name.
Yeah, like, why even bother with the Scooby-Doo bullshit, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. Fentanyl has like definitely become more and more of a problem. Fentanyl, though, I think is like the concern of every parent right now, and of course it's very prevalent and horrible.
Sure.
But my grandma texted me around Halloween. I'm 19 years old, and on Halloween she said, "If you get any sweethearts when you're trick or treating, you need to make sure you test them for fentanyl because they're putting it in fentanyl." Number one, I'm 19.
Oh my god.
I'm not trick or treating.
Yeah.
Number two, I feel like that's the least of her worries about me on Halloween. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I think
Yes.
it's definitely scary. But I feel like I could text my mom like, "Okay, mom, about to do coke off this table," and she'd be like, well, "Make sure there's no fentanyl." Like,
Make sure there's no fentanyl in.
yeah, they're
Yeah.
terrified.
It's yeah, and it's just another. I mean, first of all, this story right here is another instance of violating the keep it low key principle that we've talked about so many times on this fucking show. I mean, suspicious activity. They never heard of it. They never heard of it. They never heard of the phrase suspicious activity. But the fentanyl thing, yeah, it's absolutely like a sort of a hysteria. You know, that's just the public thrives off of hysteria. The news cycle thrives off hysteria, and it's you know, and it is a problem. I mean, but again,
For sure.
I mainly see it in my world, again with like, you know, some. On the black market of cannabis, there's like a very small percentage of just fentanyl laced stuff that's like, I don't, we've talked about our theories about why on this show before, about like what is the psychology of someone who's like
Yeah,
peanut, you know,
this
is the like they think it's fucking peanut butter and chocolate and then fucking putting a Reese's together. Like,
yeah, I don't know who thought that was I mean, that is interesting. Like, what makes somebody want to do that? Is it like ever on accident? Like it gets cut in there by accident? I don't know. Definitely, that's probably some of it. But there definitely are probably people just putting fentanyl in things, which is it's horrible. But
this motherfucker's smoking fentanyl pills. He's just smoking fentanyl pills, man. Like,
I don't know why. Don't know what. I don't know. The fake name also really gets me. That just is pretty funny.
Yeah. That was the main reason I picked this story, because it's like, what, buddy? What? Like, what kind of fucking cartoon do you think you're in, where you're just like, Joe Smith? You know, it's like, well, we found your ID, and like, this dude look like you. So yeah, but yeah, the fentanyl thing, sometimes it's on accident, sometimes it's on purpose. There's a couple different reasons. There are some reasons it makes it from the market it's intended to the market it's not intended to, and that's usually incompetence. Like we've discovered recently, there's just a sector of people who, yes, want that. They want that, but then it winds up in the hands of the folks that aren't looking for that, because if it mix my baggies, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild, man. So moving on to a different sort of crime, question mark, but also moving out of the country here. People are on high alert. This is from Newsweek, from Alice Gibbs. People are on high alert after finding creepy skulls while hiking in the woods. This man found. We got some pictures here. If you're watching this on the YouTubes or Twitches, a man hiking in the woods in Yellow Point Park, British Columbia, discovered some creepy skulls that were hung on nearby trees. The man named Cole and his friend Dana Kemp have been walking the same trail daily after being laid off due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They stumbled upon the skulls in October 2020. How did this come on my... Wow. Yeah, this was published a couple days ago. This is from 2021, and assumed they were the work of an eccentric artist. The skulls were deer skulls that were not much bigger than Cole's hand. Cole had been walking the trail for years and said the addition of the skulls made it even more special. Some people online reacted with horror, while others were in awe of the beautiful, unusual find. They were supposed to be... Yeah, keep that on mute. This is one of those clickbaity things that, like, you know, you get into the article and then you find out, oh, wait, this is from like 2-3 years ago? Oh, no, who cares?
Yeah, if there was no murder,
this is a bear.
Whatever.
This is a bear. I don't know what. That's a different story about a bear. A more interesting story.
there.
But these are pretty cool.
Yeah, those are sick. A little creepy looking, but
Yeah. Oh, actually, we got an update here. Sorry. So the man in British Columbia found the skulls on a hiking trail. He assumed it was the work of an eccentric artist, but it turned out this was actually just remnants of a deer gang initiation.
got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Mystery solved, folks. Mystery solved, you know.
They haze horribly, I've heard. That's difficult. Yeah.
So, moving along here to some entertainment news to cleanse our palate of all the creepy stuff. Where? Oh my God, this is so addy. So many ads. There we go. So do you game at all, Sage? Are you a gamer? Hashtag
Can't
gamer?
say I am. Can't say I'm a big gamer. During COVID, I was lured into playing League of Legends. Was not good at it. Was told that makes me a virgin. So that was cool. Fun time.
Wait, that you played it or that you weren't good at it?
I think if I was better at it, then I would be even worse.
Oh,
I think that would mean the hermit have no friends. But yeah, no, that I was even trying to play it. My friends played it some. And they tried to
I was
get me
gonna
on
say that if it was because you weren't good at it, it was like wow, how the times have changed. No, but
No,
no, it's still.
And yeah, that's kind of it. Pretty much it.
Well, we're all virgins here at Snide Studio, so we're not as cool as you. But Microsoft.
I think it's a requirement for getting into comedy.
Yeah, we're all looking for the chuckle fuckers. So apparently Microsoft is selling adults only controllers. Ooh. Microsoft's standard Xbox Series XS controller is being listed by Walmart as adults only and is currently on sale for $39.99 with a 33% discount, leading to confusion amongst gamers. The listing doesn't give any indication of what makes it an adults only controller, but Windows Central suggests that it could be related to the games, some of which are rated 18+. The standard pad doesn't feature any mature content such as gore, adult themes, or risque graphics. Microsoft is currently having a sale on the wireless controller at the same price. It's unclear if the listing is an error or if Walmart has a particular reason for labeling it adults only. But a lot of folks like myself, we're just confused. You hear adults only controller. I mean, I expect something like some lace or leather, some sort of bondage harness on the controller, maybe a vibration setting that makes it like a magic wand or like a built-in flashlight. I mean, my imagination went wild, but no, it's just a regular controller with a bit of an age restriction.
That's so
Maybe it's a kink of its own.
I'm wondering what it could be.
Yeah. It's just like, I never played GTA like and thought, this controller, I mean, this game's like so outrageous. The controller is just, are there now buttons for swears or something?
Yeah, I mean, does it harm people to be sharing a controller with something kids can use? I guess so.
Yeah.
Not fun. That's so interesting. Are they just saying like, is it because it's wireless? That might be it.
Yeah, it's just so difficult for kids to use. They're like, we're tired of getting these parent calls about my kid can't use the controller.
Yeah, that has to be it.
Yeah.
Has to be it.
Oh well.
Oh gosh.
So let's move on to science. Got some science here. We'll start out with some environmental science. Do you like the beach, Sage? Are you a hashtag beach girl at all?
I would say I'm a beach goer. I've been to my fair share of beaches, I would say.
Word. Well, be on the lookout next time because there's a massive blob of seaweed headed for Florida. This is from Scientific American. This has been something that's studied for a while, but here's apparently the real story. There's a massive blob of brown seaweed that is currently making its way towards Florida. The seaweed, known as sargassum, grows in the Sargasso Sea in the North Atlantic Ocean and rides the currents west to the Caribbean and Florida. While scientists say that reports of a massive seaweed bloom are overblown, there is concern about the amount of seaweed that will wash up on the coast and rot causing problems for local communities. Researchers have seen larger sargassum blooms in recent years, and some believe that this is the new normal that we're just going to have to adapt to. It's just fucking we don't know why. The seaweed provides crucial habitat for fish and turtles, but its rotting can release chemicals such as hydrogen sulfide gas, which can cause health problems for people.
Damn it, we gotta stay away from Florida now.
Yeah. You know,
Another reason.
You beat me to it. Yeah, I mean, it's more of the dystopia we didn't expect, you know, between the fentanyl, AI run amok, climate change, and then this side effect of it. Seaweed is taking over the world, you know?
What a name, too, sargassum. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, sargassum, yeah. Sargassum piles. Here's just some piles of it. All that's, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's some weird looking sand. No, that's all this shit, and it's just gonna keep piling up. You know, I mean, last time I was at the beach, I was smelling rotten eggs and shit, but you know, I could have been this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that's gross. But
yeah. Don't you just love, you know, that phrase, the new normal? The new normal. It's just always just a fancy way of saying we're just fucking shit up worse.
Our planet's going to shit, but it's the new normal.
Yeah,
don't worry.
We're just gonna have to adapt.
Adapt and overcome. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. So, speaking of, what are your thoughts on nuclear?
I mean, I'm pretty excited for it. I would say I'm excited for the new energy. You're talking about nuclear energy?
Yeah, you're a booster? You're a booster, a nuclear booster?
You know, I'm not going to lie. Mm-hmm. Again, as an English major, can't say that I'm entirely, like, I don't know if I can speak on this subject.
Mm-hmm.
At first I was excited. I was like, you know what? New way to get energy. But I've heard it's not, I don't know.
You know,
I'm for it so far.
Sure.
That's what I'll say.
You know, I'm always like, you know, people can be down with whatever, but I have gotten into a lot of Reddit arguments about about nuclear. Cleanup underway after 400,000 gallons of radioactive water has been leaked from a nuclear power plant. It was confirmed in November of 2022, but revealed to the public this week. This is from Meredith DeLiso from ABC News. Minnesota state agencies are overseeing the cleanup of 400,000 gallons of radioactive water that leaked from a nuclear generating plant near Minneapolis in November of 2022. Xcel Energy, the Minneapolis-based utility company, revealed the incident this week, but stressed that it poses no health and safety risk to the local community or the environment. The leak, detected by routine groundwater monitoring systems, occurred in a water pipe that runs between two buildings and has been contained on site. Agencies, including the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency and the Minnesota Department of Health, are monitoring the cleanup. So, you know, people, you know, working on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
400,000 gallons of radioactive water can't be bad. Okay. There's never been anything bad that's come of radioactive water. I've only heard positives. For example, more eyes, I've heard.
Yeah.
A couple of new limbs that you didn't have before. Literally can't be bad. You know, let's look at the positives here.
Yeah. It's ironic that Xcel Energy waited months to reveal this leak, claiming it posed no health or safety risk, when the company's name is derived from the word excel, meaning exceptionally good or proficient. I suppose they excel at incompetence.
Yeah, excel at keeping things under wraps.
Yeah, that's what you want from your energy company.
Yeah, maybe I take it back. Nuclear what?
Yeah, no. Oh, no, we got it, Sage.
I don't know. Clip what? I don't.
Sage.
I'm not even here. My name's not even Sage. I don't.
Nuclear shill.
Yeah.
No.
Local girl loves nuclear energy. And harming the planet.
Yeah, I mean, Xcel Energy's assurance that the radioactive leak poses no health and safety risk to the local community or the environment sounds like the kind of message that a roving robot plays on a loop in the dystopian wastelands of Fallout.
Yeah, Wally is definitely on that shit.
Yeah,
probably.
Don't worry.
Guys, it's fine.
So, They did claim that there was no risk, but the leak occurred in a water pipe running between the two buildings, indicating that it was in close proximity to some people, and it contained tritium. The byproduct is known to be carcinogenic and cause genetic mutations in plants and animals. So we might be on our way to, some little three-eyed fish in those waters,
There you go. Think of the positives.
They said they're working on it. Hindsight's 2020. It was also detected by routine groundwater monitoring systems, which ideally are meant to prevent such incidents. Like where was it before it got to the pipe? Is there not supposed to be like a thing? Sorry, I wrote a lot. Great. I wrote a lot for this one.
Oh no, you're totally good. I'm very pro-nuclear apparently, so I don't know.
So,
I don't have a response.
So silly. Let's see. The thing about power is there's just really, we haven't figured out a lot of great ways. A lot of the folks with nuclear will also point out, that to make the batteries in Teslas and the panels of the solar panels. That shit's a lot of pollution and stuff too, and it's true. We're just too big for our britches out here, man.
Yeah, honestly. It'll all cause pollution. There's definitely some that cause less.
Yeah.
Less than 400,000 gallons. But
yeah.
All of them do for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's you gotta find the lesser of evils and all that. I don't know what it is. I just know how to crack about the evils. So scientists. Moving out of that depressingness, scientists discover clues pointing to a mysterious undersea civilization. If you're looking at the video, folks, you should see so this over here is the UK. Over to the left is the UK. So in that sea right there is a mysterious undersea civilization. Small changes in the magnetic field can indicate changes in the landscape, such as peat-forming areas and sediment. They love their peat up there. This is from Interesting Engineering, written by Nergis Vertina. It's a really cool name. The University of Radford has released a study showing that magnetic fields can be used to discover buried civilizations. I'm just trying to find another picture. I guess that's the only one right there. Yeah, we'll keep it up there on that. Go away, little ads. With the development of North Sea wind farms, this company, the hunt is on to discover facts about the ancient land of Doggerland. Doggerland! Before construction. BHT, I know. With the let's see. Okay. Before construction, PhD student Ben Ermston will be analyzing magnetometric data to search for magnetic field anomalies that might point to archaeological features such as middens without excavation. Doggerland was a piece of land that connected continental Europe to Britain, but was submerged by the North Sea circa 6,500 to 6,200 BC. So it was 8,000 years ago or some shit. It was one of the most resource-rich regions during the later Paleolithic and Mesolithic periods. Companies that extract oil, gas, and minerals from the seabed, as well as offshore wind farm businesses, collect magnetic data to understand the terrain before construction. So the North Sea wind farms have created a race to uncover the secrets of Doggerland and blow the lid off ancient history. The hunt is on to discover the ancient land of Doggerland. Scientists have discovered the magnetic fields can uncover buried civilizations. I wonder if this will lead us to the lost city of Atlantis or just a few sunken ships and old bombs. Sorry.
I'd watch that movie.
Finding Doggerland. The Hunt for Doggerland.
Yeah, what a name too.
And for that shape of land there too, you know.
Yeah, it. I'm trying to like find a shape out of it. It just kind of looks like a weird fish, I would say. That's what I see.
Folks, comment below what you think Doggerland looks like. PhD student Ben Ermston will be analyzing magnetum. I'm having a really hard time with this word. Magnetometry data to search for magnetic field anomalies. He was we got a quote from PhD student Ben Erbston that he was inspired by the magnet on his fridge at home that held up his report card. Aw.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Really, though, these companies extracting oils and minerals from the seabed collect magnetic data to understand the terrain before construction. So far, they have discovered a few valuable vintage soda cans and a kilogram of lost earrings, all of which have been listed on eBay.
Oh my gosh, this is so. I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like these nerds have just been trying to harness the mysteries of attraction for quite some time.
Yeah, for sure. I also feel like maybe there's just land, and I might be crazy saying that, but you know.
Yeah, there might just be some land down there, guys.
I don't know. Thinking out loud here. Again, English major, don't know a ton. I'm gonna go with. You guys are really bored. You're making something out of nothing.
They're trying to scrape some, scrape together.
There's only so many rocks you can study. You know what I mean? Like you've kind of, they've hit the top, and now they're going below, I guess.
They're minerals, Marie. I don't know if you've seen Breaking Bad. I got to insert that clip here. They're minerals, Marie, from Breaking Bad. So yeah, moving along to another bit of science. Me with science. Computer science. ChatGPT has created a 10-year millionaire formula. And here's the entrepreneurship blueprint. In this article here from, I didn't put down, is this Medium or is this Entrepreneur's Handbook? It's one of the two. Maybe it's both. AI has generated a reasonable entrepreneurship blueprint that aims to help a 28-year-old individual become a millionaire in 10 years by starting their own business and saving $5,000 a month. The blueprint includes identifying strengths and passion, researching the market, starting small, developing a business plan, leveraging technology, and reinvesting profits. The article emphasizes that entrepreneurship is inherently risky, requires lots of hard work, dedication, and a willingness to adapt to changing circumstances, yada, yada. And, they say to identify your strengths and passions, right? So I actually tried this. So my strength is procrastination, and my passion is napping. So I tried using ChatGPT to come up with a business idea for a napping service. I fed it data on sleep patterns, trends, the latest sleep research, and even some lullabies. But all I got was a message back from ChatGPT saying, error, cannot compute, humans already nap enough. So it's like, this isn't productive. So, there goes my dream of becoming the nap king of Silicon Valley. So I started making a pillow business, right? It's going great, but I keep falling asleep on the fucking prototypes, man. That I just
oh my gosh,
I didn't get the video working, so I just did that joke for nothing. I threw a pillow, everyone. I threw a pillow. That's the kind of stuff you get here at Snide.
He was sitting on a pillow this entire time, and it was all for nothing.
Yeah, I was just waiting for that. So I upgraded.
That's great.
Yeah. But listen, Sage. I upgraded. I went straight to the source, Da Vinci. I invested in a state-of-the-art robot that could do all the work for me. But unfortunately, it became self-aware. It fired me. It took the business idea, leaving me unemployed. Sorry.
And taking naps.
Hey, you never lose your passion.
That was the plan all along. The robot took over so you could continue with your passion.
That's right, Sage. That's
Unemployment.
Right. That's right, man. You're more forthcoming than this fucking AI was, man. I swear.
Yeah, GPT, there we go, has been a lot of my professors' worry because people are just, instead of writing essays, just telling it to write the essays for them. Personally, I don't quite understand it. I'm, again, not smart enough for that, but sounds cool.
Yeah, it's...
And I mean...
I haven't made it a secret or anything. I use it to help me organize things, you know, and I kind of, like a lot of it that it gives me, I wind up rewriting. I mean, it's really more workshopping because I have no friends.
Yeah, that's your back and forth. There you go. Yeah, I will say, maybe I'll ask it to write me some jokes and see what happens.
It'll at least give you some formulas. No, it won't do better than you, Sage. Let me tell you right now. A lot of what it gives you is nonsense, but it's like, oh, there's a formula. Oh, there's a point I didn't think of, and then you take that and you're like, it's just like a brainstorming thing, really. But what if we straight up merged with the AI, Sage? There's my next thing. Here's my next crazy idea. This one here is from The Byte. That's BYTE because they're fucking clever and edgy.
Different? Yeah.
Experts are warning brain-computer interfaces will usher in the singularity. They could change us irrevocably. I swear, we have at least one singularity scare on the show a week. The singularity, we got it. It's happening.
Oh, God.
So... From Noor Al-Sibai, the rise of brain-computer interfaces is causing concern amongst philosophers who warn that it could usher in the singularity and change humanity irrevocably, like I just said. BCIs, which combine mind and machine... God damn, there are a lot of ads on this fucking thing. I can't even get down to any pictures or anything. Yeah, well, that's just that. Well, that's just that cool clip art there. So... they could combine mind and machine and are revolutionizing medical care for people with paralysis and other debilitating illnesses. But some experts worry that this integration between humans and machines is the first step towards the singularity. It's a slippery slope we got here. However, they admit that while the technology has many benefits, it could also lead to humanity becoming inseparable from machines. Inseparable, as if we're not already, Sage.
I was about to say, I mean, I have my phone right here. I'm pretty sure you've already hit that.
I know. It feels like a part of your brain, right? Like sometimes Uncle T will be like, "Hey, man, let me see your phone." I'm like, I'm not going to hand you my phone. I feel like that'd be like handing a piece of my brain to somebody. Are you kidding me?
I mean, we're right now. Even I need my laptop, my technology to do everything. I feel like everyone's worried about singularity. I think we've already become pretty singular. We're all the same.
It's there, man. I mean, and I'm excited for it. I mean, maybe I'll finally be able to fucking remember where I left my wallet.
Yeah.
It
can help.
That's it. That's all I'm asking, man. That's all. These things don't help. Sometimes I do the little. Oh, wait, where is it? The little. Where is it? Where is it? You ever do that?
My roommate does that about...
Oh, yeah?
I don't have an Apple Watch, but my roommate does it about 18 times a day. And it'll be in her pocket sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it's on.
Just look a little harder there. But yeah.
Oh, man. But, there's some parts of humanity I'm not ready to give up yet. I mean, personal things, Like, I've got a lot of shows on my list to binge watch. Could I still do that? Like, if I'm a cyborg, could I still, like, Netflix and chill comfortably? Like,
probably not.
I mean, I feel like you just like be done in a second. Either way, just done in a second. Hit the button, boom, I got done. Boom, got the next season of what are people watching now? Yellow Jacket or something? What is it? Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
What are people watching now?
I couldn't tell you. I don't even know what I'm watching.
Yeah, right. Whatever the people are watching, one button. Whatever people have been telling me to watch, and I said I added it to my list. That I'll just hit a button. So yeah, actually, you know what? I'm back on.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm down with it.
But I mean, especially if there really are utilities for this. I mean, to help the disabled, I mean, that's pretty cool. Like a brain-computer interface for revolutionizing people with paralysis. You know, they can fucking have some, you know, I guess robot stuff. And, you know, I mean, I don't. Again, if it could just fucking help me stop procrastinating, you know, I'm in.
Oh my goodness! And that graphic they got going on there. I mean,
I know. I love like 3 of my. It's just like, or 2 of them. 2 of them. I actually cut one story, but they're always just like some Adobe stock image of a brain, like, you know.
Money.
What? Yeah. Once you see how the sausage is made, folks, all this stuff is like not nearly as enchanting. So, blasting off to space with our last piece of news on Topical Punch. I know everyone's been wondering about this. What is Rolls-Royce doing these days? Rolls-Royce has secured funds to develop a nuclear reactor on the moon. A microreactor program will develop technology to provide power for humans living and working on the moon. From PA Media on, what is this? The Guardian. Rolls-Royce has secured £2.9 million in funding from the UK Space Agency to discover a nuclear reactor for a future moon base. The project will develop a microreactor program aimed at providing the necessary power for people living and working on the moon. The program will include engineers and scientists at Rolls-Royce, the University of Oxford, University of Bangor, University of Brighton, University of Sheffield's Advanced Manufacturing Research Centre, and Nuclear AMRC, whatever that is. The UK Space Agency stated that compared to other power systems, a small and lightweight nuclear microreactor would provide continuous power regardless of location, available sunlight, and other environmental conditions. They're talking to me because when I started reading this, I'm like, what about all the solar radiation? And they're like, Corey, dark side of the moon. And I'm like, okay. The microreactor could significantly increase the length of lunar missions because we're all wondering, how do we get them to stay up there longer? Rolls-Royce aims to have a reactor ready to send to the moon by 2029. 6 years, folks.
Wow.
That's what our galaxy needs, right? A bunch of millionaires playing nuclear power plant on the moon. What could be more reasonable?
People are really bored. That's what I've decided. Everyone's just really bored. I mean, it's cool. Definitely really sick. But also, what are y'all going to do up there? You know?
Yeah.
Also, why is it in the shape of a flower? Like, I
This
just feel like
shit's wild.
There's questions I have.
So many. You know why? Because it's sick, man. A flower on the moon, but it's like a postmodern computer flower, motherfucker. Like, are you kidding me?
And who told Rolls-Royce that they were like gonna have this? Like,
Yeah,
why was that the first people that they went to?
That's what caught my eye, because they fucking golf together or something, probably.
I guess so.
Dude, it's also just like, you know, like the big thing with the space thing, and I've talked about this on the show a couple times, that folks like are kind of missing because of all the propaganda and all the fussing about it. But the whole thing with billionaires trying to like set up shit on these other planets, they're calling it space colonizing, space colonies. You know, the key word there, colonialism. Well, there aren't labor laws up there, so you can like set up a mine like on the Mars and the moon and be like, you know what? I heard you got a lot of debt with Chase Bank, U.S. Bank, whatever. Insert bank here. You want to work it off on Mars for a couple years, man? You know, and then you get up there and like, hey, you got to pay for your shit here too, man. Like, you know, it's freaky when you think about what they're actually talking about doing up there. It's like, so they can work. We got to have people to work up there. Work on, you know, we want those moon rocks, man.
Yeah, it's creepy. But again, they're bored, so that's good. That's what we need more of. Rolls-Royce on the moon.
Yeah, it's like they got the emblem on everything. And flashback to the earlier story about the leak in Minnesota. So the world is already struggling to deal with the nuclear waste here on Earth. So now we're just going to ship it to the moon. You know, we're just going to take that radioactive water from Minnesota, ship it to the moon. You know, so A bunch of bored billionaires and scientists are thinking about the future of the moon, but why don't we focus on the future of Earth, guys? Let's focus on the future of Earth.
I also
Earth
feel like
first.
no colonizing the moon or other planet movies have ever gone well from what I've seen. So I feel like we just kind of need to learn from that. Maybe
We never do. We never do, Sage. And that's what makes America beautiful. Or the UK.
Mhm.
That's what makes colonialism beautiful, Sage, is that we don't have to learn from it. Just keep moving. Keep the power structures where they are. Just everyone keep your nose to the grindstone. Drink a lot of coffee. Watch a lot of Netflix. And fucking work 60-hour weeks.
Exactly.
And
American dream.
So, and remember, folks, if you liked any bit of this, April 20th will be your chance to experience it live. This is going to be lit, literally. Information at beardancemarket.com. So, this is it for today's episode of The Snide Show. Thanks again, Sage DeLong. Make sure to follow her on social media for upcoming shows and events. Where can they find you, Sage, or your socials and your dates and whatnot?
Yep. So my Instagram, Sage DeLong. I have my information there. We also the club on campus, comcon.vt. A lot of the show dates will be there.
Hell yeah.
You can find me there.
Hell yeah.
And on TikTok at comcon.vt. We've recently gone into so.
Hell yeah. Yeah. If you're in the area, be sure to check out the Comedy Conglomerate showcases, where you can see Sage and many other extremely talented comedians. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next Tuesday on The Snide Show when we have Kenny Rooster on, and stay snide.